okay? Sharks in the water, okay? Sharks in the 44 hungry sharks smelling blood that will not be denied. Not because of our love for winning, because our extreme hatred for losing. Be Western champs! Win again!
Starting Edmonton Eskimos defense. up about 3. And then let's take a look at the Edmonton Eskimos starting offensive lineup.
Hands up! Get your hands up! Hands, fight! Don't get bullied, man. Hey,
What's contact at 5? What's contact at 5?
Riley to Walker again, intercepted at midfield. And that's another Tennessee first down.
yeah, there we go.
Riley completes Terrell Walker out of the backfield. And he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Lost 2 tackles. On the second and 12, Milwaukee fires a both team. Will send it to Terrell Walker. Hours of penalties incomplete.
This summer, Deckard of Wetaskiwin, Alberta. You could win the ultimate $25,000 home theater package from Visions Electronics if a kickoff's returned for a touchdown in this game, thanks to Safeway's Touchdown to Win promotion. And if a second kickoff is returned all the way in this one, you can also win $1 million. Alan, good luck with that. Let's go back to Chris and Glenn.
Back home, baby.
Matthew Boulay forces the fumble. Brian King comes up with the football, and Edmonton's got a first down at the 23-yard line. Play action fake, and Riley throws into the flat, gets complete, and Corey Watson crashing down inside the 10-yard line, a first down.
Mike Riley's going to get pressured off the edge by Frank Beltre, but he has that release valve right on the sideline, and it's Corey Watson.
Watson out of Concordia just signed a new 2-year extension. Gives the Eskimos first and goal. Kendall Lawrence into the offense. And they'll swing it to Lawrence. To the 5. Kendall Lawrence hits a roadblock and gets driven back. So it'll be second and goal from about the 2.5.
Edmonton Eskimos are attacking the wide side of the field right now with these swing screens, either Kendall Lawrence or Darrell Walker. Here's that fumble one more time. Calvin McCarty gets the assist. He made first contact, turned Sky Dawson into Boulay.
McCarty, the longest serving Eskimo in his 9th year. Akeem Shaver's back in. They fake the handoff. Riley straight ahead, and he'll be stopped short of the goal line. It's going to be third and goal.
Matt O'Donnell, the right guard, immediately turned to Chris Jones after this play and indicated that it's only a few inches to go and that they want to go get it. He is held short. The ball never crosses the plane.
Freddie Bishop hangs on, keeps Riley out. Third and goal. Eskimos going for it. Flag down. Riley into the end zone.
Calgary, number 28. Penalties refused. Result of the play. Touchdown.
Brandon Smith offside. Mike Riley into the end zone behind.
Down to the doorstep on that zone read, but it's just a variation off it with Mike Riley going up the middle and attacking the interior of the D-line, and they finish with the quarterback sneak and Chris Jones going for 2 after the first major by the Edmonton Eskimos.
Coming out firing. So the Eskimos go for 2 from the 3. 5 for 8 during the regular season. And Riley into the end zone. Watford's got it. And a quick 8-0 lead for the Edmonton Eskimos. No rust.
No rust, and this is how you can tell there's no rust. When you can throw it on time on the quick slant down on the goal line with tight man-to-man coverage, you know the guys don't have rust offensively. That throw was right on the money.
Points come off turnovers. The leading team in fumble recoveries this year gets one early, and Mike Riley makes Calgary pay.
Some
The CFL playoffs on TSN are brought to you by Wendy's Gouda Bacon Cheeseburger and Bacon Fondue Fries. Wendy's, now that's better. And by Shaw, proud sponsor and fan of the Canadian Football League.
Turnover is always such an important part of every football game. That much more important in the playoffs, and Edmonton takes advantage of the first one here this afternoon.
4 plays, 23-yard touchdown drive. After the fumble by Scott Dawson, trying to atone for it here. And he's brought down by Calvin McCarty once again. Fired up on the team.
One more shot at that convert here, and this is Mike Riley on time. 1, 2, 3, step throw, right inside leverage. That's Darrell Walker on Brandon McDonald. No chance for McDonald when the timing is that good.
Mike Riley 8 for 9 out of the gate, and now Bo Levi Mitchell will try to respond behind that makeshift Stampeder offensive line. Into the hands of Messam, straight ahead, and he has about 3.
Let's take a look at that Stamps offensive line. Spencer Wilson, he's the Western All-Star for the Calgary Stampeders, and in fact, when you look at tonight's starting lineup, yes, it's Spencer Wilson, the only player that is still there in that starting offensive line. The rest have been changed, and there's been changes all season long.
12 different combinations have started in the last 16 weeks. Second down, it's dumped off. Underneath, it's Messam, and he crashes for a first down up around the 44-yard line.
Well, they got to get the big 245-pound back going, just like they did against the BC Lions in the semifinal. 147 yards rushing for Jerome Messam, but that can give the young and inexperienced offensive line a chance to go and run block. Even on those little swing passes, they can become more aggressive and settle into this game.
He had 81 yards receiving last week against the Lions in the Western semifinal. They fake it to him, and over the middle there's the leading receiver in the Canadian Football League. Eric Rogers is down to the Edmonton 45-yard line, finally tackled by Pat Watkins.
The other aspect of getting Jerome Messam established is that once you get him established, watch how he influences the defense on the play fake. Jerome Messam is going to go play action here with Bo Levi Mitchell. That pulls up J.C. Sherrod in the middle to come and try and stop him, and who's open right behind him? Eric Rogers.
Rogers with 4 touchdowns in 2 playoff games. A pair last week, another errant shotgun snap, but Mitchell gets it to the sidelines and into the hands of another former Dino, Anthony Parker.
What a season for Eric Rogers out of Cal Lutheran. Led the CFL in big plays. Those are plays of 30 yards or more. He had 13 of them. And you mentioned when he gets down in that red zone, he is the #1 target. 10 touchdowns on the season for Eric Rogers.
Averaged 65 yards in the 3 games against Edmonton. Against the rest of the league, up around 90 yards. Here's Mitchell pulling down another high snap and taking off. Don't see him run that much, just 19 times during the regular season.
You know, he doesn't run much, but he will run to buy himself time. He'll move around in that pocket, negotiate the pocket well. Did that in the Grey Cup last year very effectively. He'll be a little short here.
3rd and about 1.5 yards, and the field goal team comes on. Are those snaps just enough to get his timing off?
Well, it'll take his eyes off the coverage for a split second. They're going to have to shore that up as this game goes on.
Paredes has been good this year, 41 of 47. You could see the playoff accuracy even better.
And a finalist for outstanding special teams player.
Drew Tate, the holder. From 44 out, he hits it. And the Stampeders are on the board. It's a 5-point Edmonton lead. Just over 4 minutes remaining in the opening quarter of the West Final. focus on that patchwork Calgary offensive line. With more, let's head to the sidelines. Here's our coach, Mike Benavides.
Well, yeah, guys, so far the Edmonton Eskimos are covering up the center, John Estes. And you saw right on the second play of the game, a high snap. They're stressing him out, they're covering him, see if he can handle the matchup. And right now they're trying to cover up as many guys as they can, get the one-on-ones, and I think it's a great plan.
Got all CFL defensive tackle Armando Sewell to put some evil intent in his mind.
Pat Delmonico is now, what that means is, and what coach is talking about, is they're going to take and put Gregory Alexander right on top and line him right over Estes so that he has to block him, but also concentrate on that shotgun snap to Bo Levi Mitchell. So he's got contact immediately as he's snapping the ball.
First down, and there's Joe West across the middle. So Bo Levi Mitchell finding an open spot in that secondary a couple of times over the middle for 17, and the first catch of the game for Joe West.
Yeah, we talked to the coaching staff about why, if Jeff Fuller was closer, if he's ready, and he was healthy and ready to go, but Joe West playing so well. They had some issues with the Canadian ratio, so they could only take one of the two, but couldn't take Joe West off the roster. He's playing too well.
First down up near the 50. And Messam hits midfield and has 5. Dexter McCoyle, G.C. Sherritt on the stop.
So they try and cover up those guard and right tackle in Carl Lavoie here. And let's see on this run play, Estes comes out, nice block as he takes that cover-up position by Alexander, and he takes that contact and gets a little run bubble.
Undersized, high football IQ, former Arizona Cardinal, started 54 games at the University of Hawaii. Here's Mitchell again, crosser, he's got Eric Rogers once again in a hurdle. Out of bounds, a couple of extra yards to put an exclamation point on it.
Boy, Eric Rogers is so smooth in his route running. It doesn't look like he's even moving until he goes by you. He's just down the seam here. Nice, easy break across the middle. A 30-yard gain and a little fun at the end as he hurdles over Patrick Watkins. And Patrick Watkins is 6'5". This is a high hurdle.
4 catches, 71, and 2 touchdowns last week. He has a couple big grabs already, and he's getting closer to his neighborhood. Here's Lamar Durant on the fly sweep, but Durant breaks through. Odell Willis trying to pull him down. Otha Foster finally, but Durant all the way down inside the 5. It's a 21-yard run for number 1.
Great play calling from Dave Dickinson. Get things started here. There's Lamar Durant. He's going to come on that little run play to the left side of the formation. Well blocked at the point of attack. Jerome Messam gets out and into the secondary. He helps his fellow receiver out. But excellent play calling. Establish the run early to Messam. Go to play action in the quick game after that. And now mix it up with a little run to Lamar Durant.
That raises the blood pressure of the Eskimo head coach. Mitchell into the end zone. Open man! And incomplete. Anthony Parker can't hang on. John Ojo recovered just in the nick of time.
He's a Western All-Star and led the team in interceptions with 5. And in this case, John Ojo is beaten but doesn't give up on the play. He turns, makes up the space, keeps fighting for it, and then strips it out of there. Anthony Parker is going to argue that he had it long enough, but as he's going to the ground, he's got to survive the ground contact.
Mitchell put a little air under it, but Parker should have secured it. And it's second and goal. Mitchell into the other corner, too far for Rob Cote. Incomplete. It'll be third down.
Still trying to work Jerome Messam into the playbook. Remember, he was that trade right at the deadline in late October. He's going to come out here and he's going to be almost in the same area as the tight end and Rob Cote. He needs to get a little bit shallower, but that ball thrown out of bounds.
So an impressive drive comes up short, and Paredes on to attempt His second field goal of the game, this from 11 yards out.
Time count violation. Calgary, number 4. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So they'll back up 5. Things getting a little heated in the trenches there.
Well, we shouldn't be surprised about that with these two teams. Edmonton had to exercise the demon. They could not beat Calgary all of last year. Got them twice out of 3 games this year. Can they do it one more time and get to the cup?
So from 16 out, Paredes just gets it through. Hooks it inside the bar, and the discussion continues here as the first quarter comes to an end. A quick start for the Eskimos. Fumble recovery and then an early touchdown. Stampeders answering with a pair of field goals. 8-6 after 1 quarter.
With TSN Direct.
Coaches yesterday mentioned this probably will come down to a mistake or two. The first mistake of the game made by Calgary, despite an edge in stats. They trail by 2.
Turnovers are so important in every football game, and they got the 8 points. The Edmonton Eskimos off that first turnover by Sky Dawson. But I like the way that Dave Dickinson is calling this game offensively for Calgary right now. He's got Jerome Messam established early in that quarter, then went to quick play action so Bo Levi Mitchell could get out of his hands quickly, and then mixing it up with a little fly sweep there to Lamar Durant. This is good play calling to allow that makeshift offensive line, Chris, to settle in.
Be interesting to see if the Eskimos are able to mount a run game today without Shakir Bell or Chad Simpson. Chris Jones, just his 3rd game at the running back spot. Does have Kendall Lawrence, who he can deploy in that area as well. And he is their ace return man. And Kendall Lawrence up over the 35-yard line. Glenn Love leads the surge downfield on the teams. Well, everybody gets involved in the Battle of Alberta on ice or on turf.
There's Taylor Hall. Edmonton Oilers, and Jordan Eberle is right behind Taylor Hall there. A couple stars for the Edmonton Oilers supporting the cause. And
Mark Giordano, Johnny Gaudreau and company wearing the Stampeders.
Love to see that. This Battle of Alberta runs deep.
Mike Riley back to work. Underneath it goes Shamad Chambers has a catch. And Chambers, good second effort to drive for a first down. Working against Adam Berger.
You know, it's one thing when you see something you want to try and exploit offensively, and I think Edmonton's doing that. They're going to test Berger out there now. Calgary can make a change and go with Ciante Evans at corner. Berger gets up limping after this quick throw to Shamad Chambers. They don't want to go too far, though, from what's got them here, which is the short side and Bowman and Darrell Walker.
12-yard pickup and a first down. And now onto the ground. And that is the newcomer Shavers, and Micah Johnson stuffs that. Boy, he's had a good year at defensive tackle, number 93.
And they're right now, Chris, making a substitution, and Ciante Evans has come to play the wide side corner. They're going to bring in Jeff Heck now to play more of a 30 front, which is 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers, and Heck will be the extra linebacker. Rich Stubler is trying to mix it up now, especially on second down.
They do have to juggle because of the ratio to make sure they have 7 Canadians on the field. They also have defensive tackle Derek Wigan out of Queens on the field right now, and a pass underneath is caught by Bowman, and they convert on second down.
Take a look at how Rich Stubler is going to have to. There's his 3 down linemen, and then he goes with the 4 linebackers right there. And now that's what the 30 front is called. 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and good play called by Edmonton to beat it.
Bowman the catch and a first down at the Stampeder 49. Riley to the sidelines. There's another catch for Darrell Walker.
Well, that's a tough combo to defend against. So you got a Darius Bowman, the most targeted receiver in the CFL this year, into the short side with Darrell Walker that in just 12 games had over 1,000 yards. Who do you double team?
Well, we're going to hear both names a lot based on the regular season. Those two combined were targeted 57 times in the 3 meetings against Calgary. 31 for Bowman and 26 for Walker.
And they're out to the field on this play.
They look one way and now back the other for Stafford. And Brandon McDonald breaks it up.
Nice break by Brandon McDonald. I mean, he was on that perfect to the inside. This time McDonald over the top, gets his left arm around and knocks that one down. So 1-1. Darrell Walker got him on the first slant, but that time it was McDonald.
Mentioned a lot about the offensive line of Calgary. They've lost both corners this year. Joe Burnett, Fred Bennett were the starters. Brandon McDonald makes a play there, and Sean White has to come on to attempt a 48-yarder. Oh, wait a minute. Jordan Lynch on 3rd and 2 off the right side. And inside the 40-yard line has the first down.
This is why coaches will tell you, given the choice between having to play the semifinal right to the final and get to the Grey Cup that way, or having a long break to prepare, they'll tell you, give me the break so I can prepare some extra plays, some extra wrinkles. And here is your holder, Jordan Lynch, coming up. Remember, he's a 3rd-string quarterback.
Just enough by the length of the football. And that gets a smile from the coach on the sidelines.
Yeah, he stepped up there. Now Jordan Lynch is under center. Remember, he's a 3rd-string quarterback and comes in some short yardage formations. He's also run some run packages throughout the regular season.
He's the Swiss Army knife. He's a gunner on punt cover, a guy that has done it all and gets what could be an important first down for the Eskimos. Now the pitch, and Shavers will try to get outside. Freddie Bishop in pursuit, able to haul him down.
That's a good all-around football play, because first of all, we see a little bit of Akeem Shavers who gets out, and this is his game, that speed to the outside out of Purdue. But how about the speed of big Freddie Bishop, 265 pounds, and he's going to run Shavers down here. And he's in behind him. He outruns the angle and catches Shavers from behind. That's speed for a big man off the edge.
Second and 2. Bowman was motioning. Handoff inside, and Shavers crashes inside the 30 and is close to another first down.
Played his final 2 years at Purdue. 5'11", 203 pounds. No Shakir Bell, no Chad Simpson, so it's Akeem Shavers, and 292 attempts in college at Purdue. He had a 4.8-yard average, 5.5 in limited playing time this year. Mike Riley says he had not made a bust all practice. Remember, he started as a defensive back when he first got to Edmonton.
Explosive back. in his hands again to the outside. At the NFL Combine, an 11-foot standing broad jump.
I had a long talk with Mike Riley about if he was concerned with the Keem Shavers and the limited playing time that he had coming into this big important game in the West Final. I said not at all, because you know he started when Aaron Grimes got hurt. He went and practiced as a defensive back. He's such a great athlete and football mind. He has not made a bust in practice. He knows exactly where to be, and he can pass protect.
Quarterbacks like the guy who says the #1 priority is pass pro. Shavers again, and this time Juwan Simpson waiting in the hole. The middle linebacker shuts it down.
You know, statistically, Juwan Simpson last couple of years isn't going to jump off the page for you, but this is the guy that is the catalyst for this team. He's the leader. He was a former captain at Alabama, and when they need him, he steps up and makes a play. He's going to make Edmonton have to try for a field goal here.
Missed 5 late in the year with a broken collarbone, and after a delay, Chris Jones does send the, well, let's see, Jordan Lynch back on. He is the holder, and I think he's also, well, they do have Sean White on the field, so let's see if they got something up their sleeve again on 3rd and 1. Or
well, Juwan Simpson just walked around to that field goal return team, and he reminded, hey, be careful.
Here we go again. They try and draw them offside. As you can see, it's more than a yard, and Calgary doesn't bite.
Count violation. Edmonton, number 5. 5-yard penalty. Remaining 3rd down.
This is the captain in Juwan Simpson, making sure that everybody on that side of the ball was on the same page. Juwan Simpson, look at him bark out right in the middle there, telling everybody, hey, this is a fake coming. Make sure you're ready. Don't let it happen second time in a row. And Jordan Lynch has to pull the plug and say, no, we don't have it.
Heartbeat of the defense. Juwan
That's
Simpson.
what veterans do.
So White from 32 yards out. Got that. And it's a 5-point Edmonton lead. Just past the 6-minute mark, 2nd quarter at Commonwealth. This Saturday, the warm-up to the biggest party of the year. Grey Cup Saturday gets you set with CFL Player Awards, features from team practices and more. It all gets underway noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on TSN 3. Red and black plaid optional.
Congratulations to the Ottawa Red Blacks and Henry Burris, who is a finalist for Outstanding Player, and he'll go toe-to-toe and head-to-head against Bo Levi Mitchell. Takes the field against this Edmonton defense.
What a game the Eastern Final was. Here it's a 5-point Edmonton lead as they shuttle it inside, and Jerome Messam goes to work. He was terrific last week in a receiving role with 81 yards. after the catch.
Well, Estes makes the big block right in the middle. He's got one guy that he's got to take out of there, or this little shovel pass doesn't work to Jerome Messam. And that guy is Armando Sewell. He takes him out of the hole. That allows Messam to get to the second level and into the secondary.
Third straight game, Messam's playing a former team of his. Started against Saskatchewan, against BC, and now gets stacked up against his old team, the Edmonton Eskimos. Dexter McCoyle helped shut the door in his face that time.
Yes, 3 years ago, traded for a 6th-round draft pick. Former Edmonton Eskimo.
And told us yesterday that there was a suggestion he might be going to Ottawa. Sean Lemon was lobbying for it, called his agent to find out if there was anything there, and 2 days later, he became a Stampeder. Passing the flat, Joe West is loose in front of Watkins, and West has a first down catch into Eskimo territory.
Just a brilliant move by John Hufnagel to make that trade at the deadline to get Messam. This is a nice timing throw from Bo Levi Mitchell, using all his targets, and he finds Joe West right on the sideline.
John Hufnagel's offense settling in now. And we got a timeout called by the Eskimos.
Edmonton.
Right now, Chris Jones is talking to Patrick Watkins as if he's missed a couple of assignments here and trying to get him lined up. He's not happy.
3-time All-Canadian corner.
Chris Jones gave the team 10 days off. Last game was November 1st. Brought them back. They went 3 hard days of practice, and then on day 3 had a scrimmage. Offense against defense, ones against ones. Try and get that intensity back.
Odell Willis said, if you think we're going to show some rust, you don't know our head coach.
I haven't seen rust per se, but that was just some assignment issues that Chris Jones wanted to get lined up.
And 3 weeks is a long time. No getting around it. Matt Walter into the game now. He takes the handoff, and Armando Sewell wraps him up.
Well, there's all weapons all over the field. You take a look at the Calgary Stampeders and where Eric Rogers ranks. Manny Arsenault, number 4. Chris Williams, 3rd in the league in receiving. Darius Bowman, who's in this game this afternoon, number 2. And Eric Rogers, number 1.
And number 1, Lamar Durant, gets stopped short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and about 3.
Second fastest coach in CFL history to 100 wins. Got there this year, John Hufnagel. His final season on the sideline as the head coach, will move up into the executive offices as GM next year. And Dave Dickinson will take over on the sideline.
Forecast at the moment as Paredes lines up from 48 yards out and got it. Rennie Paredes.
When I was young.
Coach who leaves no stone unturned in making sure his team's ready. With more on Chris Jones and his prep for this game, to the sidelines, Ryan Rashog.
Yeah, Chris, and a bit of a coaching mentor for Chris Jones has become Bill Parcells, and Jones phoned him last week looking for some advice on whether or not to take the team indoors to practice because it was chilly, or to leave them outside. And Coach Parcells said, well, you might as well leave them outside and don't overdo it. And he also asked, are you doing any wet ball drills? To which Jones responded, I wasn't planning on it. And he said, well, what if it rains? So Chris Jones had a bucket of water on the sidelines, and they were dipping the footballs in it, and the players were not loving it, but leaving no stone unturned, as you said.
Getting ready for a frozen, maybe turf and game. Taking a shot here. And Darrell Walker, the intended target. Incomplete, but a flag down. Brandon McDonald in coverage. Draws the flag.
Great receivers have that second gear, and Darrell Walker certainly has that.
Calgary, number 31. Point of foul, automatic first down.
He comes out of his break in a really glide mode and then takes an extra hard step, and that draws the foul from Brandon McDonald over the shoulder. If there's any question, he grabs his waist and slows his progress to the football. That's classic pass interference.
39-yard penalty. Just 5 pass interference calls against Calgary all season long. Fewest in the league, and Darrell Walker the intended target there, and it looked like he might have got tackled before.
To ask, what about that second play? Tried to go tempo offense, call it quickly so that Calgary can't make any personnel changes. Got away with that one.
Walker burst onto the scene with a 14-catch game against Hamilton, 183 yards, and challenge flag. Chris Jones thought he saw pass interference as well.
And maybe it was just that he saw his quarterback arguing the play aggressively, and because of that thought there must be something out there he wants to take another look at.
Edmonton is challenging the rule on the field of defensive pass interference. We'll review the play.
Again, challengeable this year.
So they'll review that last play, and we'll have a verdict when we come back.
Not sure this challenge will be won by Chris Jones here. Take a look at Adarius Bowman try and get out and create a pick on Brandon McDonald. And he almost is more guilty there with a hold on McDonald, the corner, as Darrell Walker comes inside. He gets tripped up, so if anything, that would be incidental. You can't challenge offensive PI. You can only challenge defensive pass interference. That's a change this year.
And that's about the only category Chris Jones wasn't very good in this year. 0 for 6, and you get the sense it's going to be 0 for 7.
Well, Brandon McDonald's argument was that, wait a minute, I was being tackled and held by Darius Bowman, and legs got tangled.
Mentioned Calgary only called 5 times during the regular season for defensive pass interference, 8 times for illegal contact, easily the lowest totals across the league.
Well, this has not really been an issue for either of these teams when you talk about illegal contact or pass interference. 1 and 4.
Edmonton,
yeah, the best team in the league, Chris.
Edmonton 14 PIs and 7 illegal contacts.
I think you're going to see in the rules committee meetings this year a real push.
It's been determined by the command center that we have pass interference.
Wow.
On Calgary, number 31. It's a 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's like incidental to me because McDonald on the outside is trying to fight off what looked like a hold. Now you can't call it off this DPI challenge on Bowman. You can't call that after the fact, but the PI wasn't a grab on Darrell Walker. It was more of just incidental as their legs got tangled. And there's no throw, and the block is already on Brandon McDonald.
That last play certainly illustrates how Walker and Bowman work together. Passing a flat. There's Walker again. Gets away and then is brought down by the safety Josh Bell at the 10-yard line.
Well, because of his ability to get up over the top, and he showed that this year, Darrell Walker is going to earn that corner's respect, and because of that, they're going to back off. You get into man-to-man, and Brandon McDonald's got to give him some space. He doesn't want to let him get in behind him, so he gives him a 5-yard cushion there, and Darrell Walker will take advantage of that cushion.
Third trip to the red zone for Edmonton against the top red zone defense in the league. He'll swing it out, and Shaver's unable to hold on to that.
That was a fastball. We'll swing pass to Akeem Shavers.
Only 31 times this year Calgary had opponents travel to the red zone.
Keon Raymond real close to catching that off the tip. He had that interception against the BC Lions for a touchdown in the semifinal.
His 8th career touchdown, but because the playoff game doesn't count as what would have been the record breaker. Riley throwing back in the end zone and too far for Darius Bowman with Brandon Smith in his hip pocket.
Calgary Stampeders go with that 30 front again, and this time they don't get the pressure. Mike Riley had all day to throw this, and Darius Bowman's going to work himself open, but Riley misses him at the back of the end zone. He's got that dig and the in route to begin with. You can see Brandon Smith recovering. Just 3-man pressure, though, from the Calgary Stampeders, and they're stopped by the 5-man protection up front. So Riley has lots of time. He just can't find an open receiver.
Still a stop for Rick Stubler's defense. Edmonton 1 for 3 in the red zone, and Sean White drills the short field goal to make it a 5-point Edmonton lead once again. A little bit of a chess match. And we didn't expect a shootout during the regular season. Labor Day, Calgary wins 16-7. The rematch 27-16 to Edmonton, and then the tiebreaker 15-11 for the Eskimos. And that got them home field with both teams at 14-4.
Both great defenses, so like not similar in style, Chris, but similar statistically throughout the season.
Uncanny how similar the stats are. At least 20 categories, they're 1 and 2. Messam straight ahead.
We take a look at these two teams, both 14-win teams. First time in CFL history that the West Final has been played with two teams that have won 28 games. Their points for almost identical. Points against 346 to 341. TD passes. I mean, whether it's offensive or defensive categories, it's been neck and neck between these two teams all season long.
Eskimos have allowed 11 fewer yards this season than Calgary's defense. Second down, Mitchell's got to bounce around, but has an open man, and there's Markway McDaniel. So often the second down conversion outlet for Bo Levi Mitchell. And the Stamps will stay on offense as the 3-minute warning is given to the benches. Second down conversion catch to a 1,000-yard receiver, Markway McDaniel.
Rod Smith into the panel, getting set for live at the half. We'll talk about the gambling Chris Jones. Couple of key plays for the Eskimos, Calgary's offense, and we'll hear from the guys in Ottawa too. And the Red Blacks' big win over the Tiger Cats to get the Grey Cup 103. Back to Chris and Glenn.
Thank you, Rod. 5-point Edmonton lead. First down for Calgary at the Stampeder 50. Simon Charbonneau-Campo, who has not played since week 3 when he suffered a broken leg, has a huge catch here and a 39-yard pickup.
Great catch. It starts with protection for Bo Levi Mitchell. Has all day to throw back in the pocket so he can wait for Campo to come open on that corner route. In behind Koshi.
Season. A big one here. And the Stamps in business as they hand it off to Messon. And he breaks a tackle. Second level and a first down to around the 10.
Chris Jones has been agitated all first half about the play of his defense. This is a #1 ranked defense that has given up some yards now. That corner out in behind, we saw him earlier get into the ear of Patrick Watkins.
Flag down.
They ranked second against the run in the regular season. They were the #1 team against the pass in the regular season.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Calgary, number 86. First down had been gained on a play. We'll go back 15 yards from that point. First down, Calgary.
Costly penalty against Anthony Parker, but after the first down. And they're backed up to the 25.
It's Anthony Parker to the top of your screen, and Jerome Messam already down, and he made the hit.
First and 10 again. Lots of time for Mitchell, and the pass is caught. Joe West brings it down, working against Watkins, who thought he was out of bounds. Well, let's see, the officials still conferring. Would be a 22-yard pickup.
Well, they're marking it down on the 3-yard line. Bo Levi Mitchell with the accuracy on the throw behind, back shoulder throw.
The ruling on the play is that we have a force out. The player would have come down in bounds, but was forced to out of bounds.
That's a correct call.
Completed pass, first down.
That is the correct call. You could see that Joe West would have come down inbounds if not for being pushed by Patrick Watkins. Back shoulder throw. What a catch by Joe West.
3 for 50 for West in this first half. First and goal from the 3. Mitchell incomplete. Wanted West again. Should mention, Suits, on the completion to both Sherman Ocampo and West, a lot of time for Bo Levi Mitchell behind that offensive line we've talked about.
That's exactly why I brought it up. They're now starting to settle in. Good play calling early. Jerome Messam pointing to himself. He thought he missed a protection assignment there, but that whole line has settled in nicely. And on this drive, Bo Levi Mitchell's had lots of time to throw the football. Is this time for Eric Rogers?
Second and goal. And that one batted down, knocked down. Dion Lacey, who was noted for a stare down on Labor Day during the coin toss. A knockdown here, and the field goal team has to come on.
Bo Levi Mitchell was looking for Eric Rogers coming out of there on the slant. He had all kinds of attention.
Another short field goal attempt for Paredes. No problem, and with just under 2 minutes to go here in the opening half, it's again a 2-point Eskimo lead. So both teams have had plenty of deep forays into opposition territory, but have settled for short field goals.
The #1 target, Chris, down in the goal line for Calgary all year has been Eric Rogers. Watch the attention. He draws number 80 in the third receiver hole right here. Comes in, Aaron Grimes jams him. He gets hit by Odell Willis. Double covered on the slant route. Ball knocked down.
Edmonton takes over at their 35. A pump from Riley. He's got some time, but has to dump it off. And there's Shavers up at the 43. Junior Turner to tackle after a pickup of 8.
Overall, the philosophy for both these teams right now, it seems to be to not send a whole bunch of pressure and exotic blitzes, but to be patient. I mean, Rich Stubler and John Huffnagel defensively are a lot of that 30 front where they're just sending 3 down linemen. They're moving Junior Turner out playing defensive end with him. He's a tackle. And they're going to make Mike Riley be a little more patient, at least they have in this first half.
Riley 111 yards passing here in the first half as he looks at 2nd and 2, and he'll run for the first down up to the 50. Dragged down by safety Josh Bell, an all-star for the first time.
You know he's going to do this. I mean, this is part of Mike Riley's game, is to run the football. He only played in 10 games this year. He had 9 starts, won the last 8 of the regular season. But you take a look at his rushing on average for a quarterback, #1 in the CFL. He will run, especially when the game's on the line.
And or the season on the line.
Yes.
That ball that floated, it just got to Chambers, nearly picked up. Shamad Chambers the catch, and Ciante Evans can't believe he's not running the other way with the football.
Yeah, see, this is the substitution. Now they switch up Adam Berger and put Evans out to the wide corner, and he jumps this one quickly and just misses. Good concentration by Shamad Chambers to hang on. Missed most of the season due to injury.
Second catch for Chambers, coming back off an ACL injury last year. Over the middle, Bowman's got it. Down around the 30, another Edmonton first down. They're in field goal range, but time to do more damage than that.
Boy, this is Mike Riley putting it right on Bowman. He had no choice but to catch this one. Inside leverage for Bowman on that slant, right out in front of Brandon Smith. Ball put right on him on time.
Third catch for Bowman, 31 yards receiving. And back into his hands again. Boy, he was amped up when we talked to him yesterday. He said the boys are already calling it an instant classic, and they hadn't even kicked it off yet.
Yeah, these two teams, we talked about their battle through the regular season.
Second and 5. And the slant broken up there, intended for Chambers. They're going to call pass interference against Deontay Evans. So that's the third PI call against Calgary. And as mentioned, a team that only had 5 in the first 18 games.
And Deontay Evans right here, and it looked to me live like the timing
pass
just a little off.
Calgary, number 0.
Yep.
10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Another good call. That's Deontay Evans, just a split second too soon on the hit that twisted Chambers around as the ball was arriving.
So the 4th trip to the red zone, 1 for 3 Edmonton. You saw John Hufnagel look like he thought about challenging that call. Doesn't. Here comes the safety blitz. Riley gets it away. Bowman, touchdown!
And maybe this is why they don't send too much pressure, or at least they haven't in this first half. Because if you send pressure, you mentioned safety blitz. If you send pressure, that Bowman just stretches to that cone on Brandon Smith, coming right into your living room.
Just spilled some popcorn. What a big drive late first half for Edmonton. Punching it in, and now they'll
Let's go. Let's go.
go for the 1-point convert. 7 plays, 75 yards for an Eskimo touchdown, and the extra point from Sean White is good. Biggest lead of the West Final as the Eskimos are up by 9. Couple of touchdowns during the regular season against Calgary for Bowman. An even bigger one here.
Yeah, let's take a look at that safety blitz. It's Josh Bell, and they're going to bring Josh Bell from this side. They're also going to send Juwan Simpson. Now, if you're going to send pressure like that, it means you got the one-on-ones, and if you stop it here, there's the one-on-one on the out, and look at the room that you've just got to give it Darius Bowman. If you don't, he's going to run by you. Brandon Smith does his best to try and close on this, but Bowman stretches to the end zone. Nice pickup. Timing is there on the throw. Nice throw and catch by the Edmonton Eskimos, picking up that safety coming.
Riley had 6 touchdown passes in his final 2 regular season games. And one more look. Sky Dawson on the return. He dropped the football again. Does Edmonton have it?
You're saying they do.
Eskimo football. Sky Dawson has fumbled twice in the first half. Tim Brown was available, but Dawson had played so well. John Hufnagel went with the guy that he's used down the stretch, and Dawson's put 2 on the turf here in the West Final. Now is he down?
I was going to say, did his knees touch before the ball came out? He would have to have lost the football in the air because he's diving forward here.
Yeah, he's down.
I think he's down by contact. Every turnover is reviewed. They'll take a look at that.
The previous play is under review by the command center.
Thank you. I agree, Chris. It looked like he was down by contact. The forearm hit the ground, and that's when the ball popped out.
I think the head coach may have a visit with him anyway, but
Well, he's not covering both tips of the football. The back tip is underneath his arm but not secured, and that's what's causing him some problems in this first half. Your hand has to cover the front tip. The other tip is tucked into that arm. A little loose out there, and he's dropped 2. Now that one looked like he was down by contact. It won't hurt Calgary.
Was an interesting late season trade. You don't see many between Calgary and Edmonton. The Eskimos sending Sky Dawson to Southern Alberta, and he has been good in recent weeks.
After review, it's been determined that the Calgary player was down with contact at the 35-yard line. It'd be first down, Calgary.
So it is Stampeder football. Otherwise, Edmonton would have had a chance to kick another field goal to add to the lead before the half was done. Well, we've seen Calgary Hail Mary more than once in recent years. Late in the opening half. They'll hand it off to the big guy instead. Messam tackled by player Smith. Second and 5. And Calgary likely to just run it out.
Yeah, run this out. Capitalize when they get down in the red zone. They'll talk about that at halftime.
So Mike Riley a touchdown to Darius Bowman as well with a touchdown. Bo Levi Mitchell and the Stampeders with field goals, and halftime at the West Final, 21-12. The Eskimos with the lead as we go to the panel and Rod Smith.
All right, thank you, Chris. Well, there were questions of whether the Edmonton Eskimos would be just too rusty after 3 weeks away, but that rest looks like it has helped them a lot. Looking sharp, especially with that late drive of the touchdown to Darius Bowman and a bigger lead at the half. Milt Stegall, Matt Dunnigan, and Chris Schultz along, and Edmonton with the lead the entire way. There have been some key plays, Matty, in this football game that even before the Bowman touchdown, explain why.
Absolutely. Well, you got Calvin McCarty on special teams play, on a punt, running down there, and basically putting Edmonton in a position to get points. And to me, this is a hidden gem. And then you've got John Ojo on the other end making a fantastic defensive play. A long, lanky player like we've talked about that Chris Jones loves, makes a play in the end zone and takes one away. There's McCarty doing his thing, and then here's Ojo on a fantastic play, not giving up on the ball, taking points off the board for Calgary. Hidden gems right there for the Edmonton Eskimos. Guys doing the dirty work, making big-time plays.
Well, you know, these Edmonton Eskimos had 3 weeks off, so we know Chris Jones was in his lab thinking about things, thinking about different things he could do, trick plays. And we know he's a gambler. We saw what he did last year against these Calgary Stampeders. He was backed up at his own 10, 15-yard line, and he faked a punt. So we knew he would come into this game and have some trickery, and that's exactly what he did. After their first touchdown, he decided to go for 2 points. It paid off for him. And then he had another opportunity. 3rd and 2, his field goal holder is the quarterback, Jordan Lynch, and he went for it, and it paid off for him. We know Chris Jones is a gambler. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out this second half, some more opportunities, and gamble even more, Schultz.
Guys, I've been so impressed by both quarterbacks, by Bo Levi Mitchell, in the sense that he is making big plays against a defense that doesn't give up that many big plays. The crossing pattern, the ability to hit receivers in stride, they're getting these big chunk plays that normally the Edmonton Eskimos do not give up. It'll be interesting to see which offense can continue to make these type of dramatic plays, because I think we're in for a big-time shootout in the second half.
Yeah, you know, the whole rest versus rust question. You were saying right from the beginning, of course you want the 3 weeks. Chris Jones was a little concerned about it, though.
I'd much rather deal with that scenario than limping into the playoffs like the Edmonton Eskimos did last year against the Calgary Stampeders. I've seen a discernible difference here in the first half. I think we'll see it even more play out in the second half.
I would like to see these Calgary Stampeders come out and establish Jerome Messam a little bit more. We saw early on, they give him the ball. He's a big bruising running back. Give him the ball out of the backfield, some screens. After a while, as a defense, you get tired of tackling somebody like Jerome Messam. But you know, so I want to see him give him the ball a little bit more.
What was really odd was the, not altercation, conversation, but the discussion between Patrick Watkins and Chris Jones in terms of Edmonton doesn't have great clarity on who covers who and what they're doing in the secondary, because there have been so many moments where Calgary's made those big plays. They got to clean that up.
So see, a lot of those plays happen in zone defense, and when you got a guy like Bo Levi Mitchell and receivers like Rogers and West running through the zone defenses, he's going to find those windows. And Patrick Watkins, he just had a brain fart on the sidelines, you know. And Jonesy was just tuning him up, saying, "Come on, get with me."
Well, the Edmonton Eskimos are halfway there. Still a lot of football to be played. The winner of this game will take on the Ottawa Red Blacks. We'll have the story of the big play and the big game for Ottawa in the East and their victory over Hamilton when we come back live at the half.
And direct.
Headed to the second half with the Grey Cup berth on the line in Edmonton. Eskimos 21-12. Let's head to the sidelines. Brian Rashags with Eric Rogers.
Eric, down 11 at the half. What was said in the locker room?
We're only down 9, but we need to finish those drives 2 to 3 yards from the end zone. You know, we got to punch it in some way, somehow. If we're going to pass the ball, we need to complete the pass. We need to run the ball down there at the end. We got 245-pound Messam, so he can punch it in. When we get down there again, you look for him to get the ball.
Thanks for the help with the math. Good luck.
No problem. I got you. I'm here for
you. I was told there was no math.
But he agrees with Milt Stiegel. Give the ball to 33 and tight.
Yeah, excellent point. You got a big running back and an offensive line that's settled in that second quarter. If you get inside the 5 again, 0 for 2 in the red zone for Calgary. It's a difference maker in the first half.
Second half underway, and it's Akeem Shevers on the return. Brought down by Corbin Sharoon, a former Edmonton Eskimo, former Edmonton Wildcat. Mike Riley back to work with a 9-point lead.
Good half for Mike Riley, leader of this football team. 8 of 23, 161 yards passing, had the 1 touchdown throw. There's Darius Bowman with that touchdown, 5 catches on that out on the blitz. Darrell Walker involved mostly in the first quarter, his 6 catches.
Boy, the element's not a factor. The flags are still. Game time temperature was 6, still above 0. Kenny Stafford's got a catch, and he runs past Alan Booker and has a first down. Good start, second half. Edmonton.
Saw Ciante Evans play that wide corner a little bit in the second quarter as they went to more of a 3-down lineman, 4 linebacker set, 30 front. And this time they come back and start with the 40 up front and go back to Adam Berger on the corner. And where does Mike Riley go? He goes right out there to Kenny Stafford and makes Berger try and make a tackle in the open field.
13 and a first down up to the 45. 3 receivers wide side. Riley hooks up with Darrell Walker on the short side of the field, and Juwan Simpson there with help from Brandon Smith at the 52.
It's getting to that time, and I know you're just starting the second half. There's so much football to be played in this West Final, but the Calgary Stampeders need to get a stop. They need to at least hold Edmonton to a field goal, and when that happens and when they need that, they look to Keon Raymond. That's the guy who comes up with the big play, time in and time out. It's number 25.
Lions had a good start last week, and then Raymond nullified all that with a pick 6 that switched the momentum of the game. 2nd and 3. Looks like the Eskimos are offside as Perry Watson has the catch. He's going to be a yard short of the first down, but again, Edmonton was offside, it would appear.
It depends on where they mark this football, because if it's well short,
looks like it's inside a yard. So likely,
so they'll have to
take the penalty.
Yeah, they'll have to take the penalty and go back to 2nd and medium to long here with 6 yards. Well, it's going to be 7 yards.
Offside, Edmonton, 87. 5-yard penalty, remaining 2nd down.
Darrell Walker wasn't a little bit offside. He was 3-4 yards offside on that play.
You're right, though. The way they marked it, it appeared that forward progress was within a yard of the first down, but based on what it is now, it would have been 3rd and 3. Maybe they should have taken shouldn't have taken the penalty.
Yeah, exactly.
Here comes pressure. Berger on the blitz. Riley gets away, and the pass is caught. Kenny Stafford comes down with it in battle against Jamal Rowe.
First of all, it's Mike Riley avoiding the blitz off the edge, and it looked like, to me, it was Freddie Bishop.
Contact on a receiver. Calgary, number 28. Penalty is reclined. First down.
And right here is the blitz coming from that extra linebacker, Jeff Hecht. He comes in clean. Now he gets outside of that rush with Bishop crashing down, and then he finds Stafford down the middle and wins the 50-50 ball.
So Kenny Stafford's become a dangerous target. Just 12 catches in the second half of the season for Stafford. Little pump there, Riley wide open. It's Kenny Stafford again. Touchdown! Eskimos taking charge on the opening drive of the second half.
Well, now it's a deep hole. I mentioned the importance of a stop early in this second half for Calgary. They don't get it. They get their linebackers up real tight. Juwan Simpson and Duran Mayo are only about 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. That opens up that middle to Kenny Stafford, and they take advantage and got him right down Main Street.
He had 2 touchdown catches from Riley in the Labor Day rematch and extends the lead here. 9 touchdowns in the regular season, an extra point from Sean White, and it's now a 16-point Eskimo lead. A couple of touchdown passes for Mike Riley so far. Share your best game day pictures and videos on Twitter and Instagram using the hashtag MarksFanCam. And you can be featured on the CFL on TSN. Visit tsn.ca/MarksFanCam for terms. Bet there's more than a few from the nation's capital today. Mike Riley and the Eskimos looking to really take charge. Darrell Walker on the end around, and he gets bounced out by Brandon Smith just across midfield. Chris Jones in some historic company with his first 2 seasons of work as a head coach.
Boy, there's some big names on that list. In the first 36 games, Chris Jones 26-10. And you take a look at Mark Trestman just below him. Don Matthews, one of the greatest coaches of all time in the Canadian Football League. Frank Ivey at the top of that list. Great start for Chris Jones. Now, can he get over the hump and get to the big game?
2nd and 7. Riley steps up and fires, and he's got it. Darius Bowman once again. Bowman dropped the ball, and does Calgary have it?
They're ruling him down by contact, I think, Chris, but boy, it was a tight window here for Mike Riley to get it to Bowman. He's going to come from the left. Usually he's in the short side of the field, but he comes from Did that ball come out before he's down by contact?
No.
No. Elbow touches, then the ball comes out. Good call by the official.
Brandon Smith, the all-CFL defensive half, with his hands full against Pullman. 1st and 10. Riley keeper, and he gets a heavy jolt there. Keon Raymond stepped up, and now Justin Sorensen to the aid of his quarterback. They get involved.
This is the reverse, or just a different type of version of the zone read. Usually you see zone read where the running back takes the interior run and the quarterback gets the edge. This one, it's the fake to the receiver around the edge, and the quarterback takes the interior run lanes. In Mike Riley, they do it a little bit differently. Stephen McAdoo, the offensive coordinator, has made that as a little bit of a change-up. So now you've got to try and track Riley and the guy that was the fake. The back in that last case was the receiver, but it can be the running back.
2nd and 6. Riley's got time to pass underneath to Darrell Walker. Taken down. There's Raymond on the job once again. And it will be 3rd down.
Keon Raven, that's a big tackle in the open field. He's going to give the Calgary Stampeders a chance here. I think kick this field goal, that's one thing. They score a major there, and it could be, that's a long way back for Calgary now. That's a big tackle in the open field.
Raymond, one of those 8-year vets, core guys that started with the 2008 Grey Cup victory. Charleston Hughes, Jawan Simpson, part of that group. Brandon Smith, another. Sean White from 31 out. He's got it again. A guy that considered retirement mid-season has been virtually automatic since coming to Edmonton. Well, a guy who knows his way to the end zone. Stampeders need him now. 8 minutes left, 3rd quarter. Aaron Rodgers and the Stamps trailing. Dickinson, the architect of this Calgary offense, and he's got to find a winning formula in comeback mode here today.
Well, they're going to have to put more pressure on that makeshift offensive line, the one they patched together for this game, and have them sort of hold their own and get Levi Mitchell back in that pocket looking for those intermediate to long routes. There's still plenty of time left in this game, but their sense of urgency's got to ramp up a notch now. Starts to take Jerome Messam out of the game plan a little bit. As this game goes on, they have this deficit to make up.
Eskimos have scored on 5 consecutive possessions. And now the Stamps require a response, and Messam bounces off first contact, but gets hauled down. Marcel Young, defensive half, steps up.
Well, they run basically a run blitz here, the Edmonton Eskimos on defense, and Marcel Young's part of it. You see in the middle, Armando Sewell is going to create all kinds of problems because he gets right up the field quickly, right in the middle here. You're going to see a good push from Sewell. That's up the middle. Now there's all kinds of trouble. Point of attack's taken away, and Marcel Young rallies to the tackle.
Loss of 2, second and 12.
Count violation. Calgary, number 19. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
And it unravels a little bit more here as the Stamps are backed up 5 more.
One for the crowd there. Odell Willis trying to get him going. Little Dexter McCoyle coaching to the crowd. And we haven't talked much about Odell Willis, but I asked Dave Dickinson about which player on defense does he look at more than any. He said Odell Willis is one guy I've always got to know where he's at.
Rounding him up. Second and long. Mitchell steps up, and he's got Joe West. A big first down conversion for West, who's been a favorite target today. 22 and a first down.
Well, Bo has to stand in that pocket and find the throwing lane, and he finally gets one. Inside pass rush move is taken care of. He kind of negotiates the pocket, steps to his right, and there's Joe West, the clutch catch to move the chains.
4 catches, 72 yards. J.C. Jarrett brings a stop to the play, but a first down Calgary at the Stampeder 50-yard line. Back into the hands of Messam, and he falls forward for maybe 3.
Maybe the big play that Messam made in the semifinal game was that little swing pass that he took for big yards and yards after the catch. And I asked Bo Levi Mitchell about that play. He said, yeah, he went up to Messam and said, hey, I'm going to throw it out there to you. You go and make a couple of guys miss. They can use him in the passing game as well.
53 catches in the regular season. Second and 7. 4 receivers wide side, looking that way, but short hops it. Not sure if that wasn't tipped. And the punt team has to come on again.
And 2nd and 7, play action. In this, when you're down like this, is not really going to sell too many of the defenders, or at least it shouldn't. You remember Chris Jones talking to Ryan at halftime? He said we've got to be better against play action, and what he got there was J.C. Sharon dropping underneath receivers and forcing Bo to throw it to the sideline.
Good boot by Maverick, 47 yards. Kimball Lawrence trying to get outside and runs out of room. Deron Mayo angles him out. So we mentioned Mike Riley in his last game, November 1st, was 82.9%. Over 80% again here.
One more.
With impressive numbers.
We're going.
Just 45 minutes in.
Well, 4 of those 8 starts in the back half of the season, over 300 yards passing the final 3 games. He has been on, and he's on again in this West Final.
Not even 40 minutes in. I'm having trouble with the math now. Deepest start of the game for Edmonton. And Riley, pass drop. And there it is. Over with the drop, and there's usually 1 in the game.
Yep.
As good as he is.
Well, targeted more than any receiver in the CFL. I mean, coming in after the regular season, 162 times he was targeted. But it is it is uncanny how he will drop one per game. That's right in his chest, and then move on and make 3 or 4 spectacular catches. Last 3 games of the year, 25 catches, 418 yards. He was on fire to close it out. There's a pass caught by Kuhorn. Berger brings a quick stop to that play. What Calgary needed was a 2-and-out, and Rich Stubler's crew gets it. Second 2-and-out of the game for the Eskimo offense. Second time that Adam Berger has made a tackle and got up limping.
So Markway McDaniel is back to return the punt. Sky Dawson hurt. So McDaniel does some double duty, waiting the punt from Grant Shaw. Tumbling punt, and it's a 40-yarder and a returnable one. McDaniel down to the Edmonton 47, so terrific field position for Bo Levi Mitchell and the Stampeders, who need to close the gap.
And don't be surprised to see Calgary go after some punts. They've got Markway McDaniel back there now to just basically catch it, get what he can moving forward. And he might put 11 up and try and block one. And could use a play like that.
Talked to Bo Levi Mitchell yesterday, and he said, against Edmonton, you got to stay patient. But I get impatient once in a while. Wonder if he's ready to take a shot. Not yet. Messam sent tumbling, ball loose, and Marcel Young got it. Jerome Messam says he's down. Let's find out if he's right or Marcel Young is.
That play made in the middle by J.C. Sherritt stepping up and taking on Jerome Messam. I mean, he drops his shoulder. We'll take a look and see if he was down by contact or not. Every turnover is reviewed, but J.C. Sherritt steps in there.
And Messam's right, he is down.
Outweighed by about 30 pounds.
He's down.
But it looks like he will be down by contact with that elbow hitting.
That's a lot of force when 245 pounds is dropped from that high up.
Well, that's great linebacker play, too, by J.C. Sherritt. I mean, he's being blocked there by Lamar Durant. Steps in, lowers his shoulder on Messam, but I think Messam's got an argument. His arm looked down by contact there, and the ball came out after the elbow hit.
So we await the ruling from the command center.
The only part of the running back that can go down without being down by contact is the hand, the offhand. So there's the hit by Sherritt. Elbow touches there, and it looks like he still has the football. An elbow and forearm hit the ground, then the shoulder. Here's a look that you haven't seen. Don't like it here, but that was the correct call.
So instead of a turnover, it turns out to be a gain of 5 yards for Messam.
I think you just saw John Hufnagel there trying to tell Bo Levi Mitchell, get things going in and out of the huddle. The time is their enemy now, too.
Just looking at field position. Are we in 3-down territory yet, or is it 2-0?
Almost. Right on that bubble right now. 2nd and 5.
Receivers bunch to the short side. They hand it off, and do they get it off in time?
Procedure. Calgary, number 53. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Odell Willis went right to the sideline, almost to the Calgary bench, and congratulated the crowd on drawing another penalty. That's the second that the crowd noise has caused problems for Mitchell. Get that ball snapped on time.
Mitchell Crosser, Joe West bobbled the football, and he'll take the hit short of the first down. Not sure he was going to get there anyway, but that double clutch looked like it cost him yards.
Huffnagel's going to go with points. Still got a full quarter. So it says just on the bubble. Get it to a 2-possession game, and this is a good decision by the 100-win head coach.
Rene Paredes surveys. 51 was his long this season. This from 49.
No chip shot right now.
And Paredes has hit another. Keeping Calgary in it. That's a 2-possession game now, with just under 3 minutes left here in the third quarter.
7 out of the 8 years, John Huffnagel has led his team to this game, the Western Final. 3 Grey Cup appearances, 2 wins. 2008, of course, last year. Can they get back? Take a shot at repeating. Got some work to do.
After the play, objectional conduct. Calgary, number 4. 10 yards, first down, Edmonton.
That's Drew Tate, the holder.
Drew Tate. After the fact here, kick goes through, and Drew Tate thought that there was a hit on Rene Paredes by Ojo. Said something to the official and chased him down, gave him the, pointed at him a couple times, said something, and drew a flag.
Lowest penalized teams had a bunch today. Catch is made by Corey Watson, brought down by Brandon Smith.
Edmonton Eskimos got to keep their foot on the pedal here. 2-possession game. Long kick there, a little bit of momentum for Calgary. They get a stop here and they can build on that.
Points on 5 of their last 6 possessions. 2nd and 4. Up near midfield. Short drop, quick hitter, and that one is batted away, knocked down. And the Stampeders defense getting stouter with under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Edmonton Eskimos can't take their foot off the pedal here. There's way too much football to be played. That guy knows it.
Second consecutive 2-0.
Micah Johnson is a beast in the middle. I asked Chris Jones, I said, tell me one guy on the Calgary defense that most impresses you. He didn't even hesitate. He said 93. 93 is almost unblockable.
Good to see him finally have an injury-free year to show his stuff. Good kick by Shaw. McDaniel on the return. And he's out beyond the 20-yard line. Dion Lacey gets into his face, and they get Lacey out of there before he takes a penalty.
He's still at it, and he may draw a flag yet. Jones got to rein in him, and off the track sometimes, and he's got to rein it in. He's lucky he didn't get a call here. That should be a taunting call, and I'm shocked that there's not a flag thrown on that one.
At the 24. Fake to Messi. And now on a roll. Pressure on from Odell Willis, and Mitchell's got to throw it away.
John Ojo had Joe West covered down, and he could not, Joe West could not shake him. That's the guy that Bo was waiting on, but John Ojo just shut the door.
All-star in his rookie season.
Watch how he covers down on Joe West here, and he just gives him nothing. He sits on this little curve, then he goes with him on the go road, and finally both Levi Mitchell is thrown away.
Eric Rogers quiet so far. 2nd and 10. Running out of time. Gets it away. And it's in There's a flag.
Mitchell was indicating that it's against Edmonton. The officials are huddling up.
Illegal contact on a receiver. Edmonton, 10-yard penalty. First down, Calgary.
Don't get a number on who the culprit is that takes an Edmonton touchdown off the board.
Looked like the hit where the ball was thrown was on time, and a good hit there by Dexter McCoyle. Ball popped up to Otha Foster. That looked legal, but the contact happened away from that. We did not get a number.
Stamps offense gets a reprieve. Messam, big hole, second level, and a first down run. Time for one more play. And the Eskimos defense starting to jaw with Jerome Messam, and one way or the other we might have to get a penalty to try and stop the extra stuff. Can you imagine after this season I'm advocating a penalty call? Back into Messam's hands. That's not going anywhere. Ball came loose. Is it live? It's Dion Lacey. And it looks like it was ruled down, but Chris Jones may be challenging. And that ball's popped loose 4 or 5 times today, and this time the Eskimos might win one of these challenges.
Take a look and see if Jerome Messam is down. Hits the line of scrimmage here.
That ball is out. That ball is out.
And it is recovered immediately by Dion Lacey. You can see the ball is out right there. He's not down yet.
And it is recovered immediately. Lacey away. And after Otha Foster's touchdown was nullified by a penalty, let's find out if this touchdown stands after a challenge. Messam was ruled down.
Ruled down by contact, but it didn't look like he was down. When that ball popped out of there, you saw the ball on its way to the ground before Messam was down by contact, and I didn't hear a whistle that stopped the play before then. Just to the bottom of your screen there. That ball is out before Messam is down. This is a touchdown.
That's Armando Sewell who ripped it out.
You can see Calgary still tried to make the tackle on Dion Lacey there, so they didn't stop playing either. This is an Edmonton touchdown.
And it was an immediate recovery. Critical verdict.
Just see if there was any whistle that would have possibly blown this play dead.
Unfortunately for Calgary, a whistle can't
It has to stop the play well before the turnover. I'm not sure it did. Bottom line here is that Jerome Messam wasn't down.
Now, I'm not sure why this is taking so long, but it is a critical call.
And that ball was recovered immediately, because that's also factored in.
And that's the part of a whistle blowing, that for it to change hands, the ball has to be recovered immediately, and in this case, it appeared that that was the case.
Doesn't look like Chris Jones got the answer he wanted on whatever was being explained to him there. This has gone to the command center now, of course.
This would be a great escape for Calgary if it goes their way.
Well, I'm not sure how it can, but by the length of time they're taking to make this ruling, you wonder what else they're looking at, because it appeared pretty simple. I mean, Jerome Messam hit the line, was spun around, not down. The ball came out. Lacey recovered immediately.
Well, it's a 5-minute review so far. And you understand the importance of the call, but at the same time, this is something that has to be addressed. It has to be a little bit more expedient than this.
Look at it again. I mean, was it closer than we thought? I don't think it was. I mean, there's the ball out, and then he touches well after that. I mean, Jerome Messam's backside is not on the ground yet, not there, and you could see the ball right there is out and loose.
Chris Jones just threw the challenge flag again.
On the play cannot be reviewed by the command center because the whistle went in. Edmonton can now challenge the ball. Edmonton can now challenge the call on the field.
So they're saying the whistle blew to blow the play dead, but now that it has been, Edmonton can challenge. And that was the explanation that Chris Jones was getting on the sideline.
Thought we were long past that, but now the challenge is in effect.
Well, it's going to be ruled a turnover. Now they're saying that the play was blown dead.
After review, it's been determined that Edmonton did recover the ball. It'll be their ball on the 47-yard line. A 10-yard penalty for objectionable conduct. Number 40, Edmonton, for kicking the offensive ball into the stands. First down.
So it is a fumble recovery. They do not allow Lacey to advance the football. And after all that, the third quarter comes to an end.
Well, the quarter normally can't end on a penalty.
But it does end on a lengthy challenge. Edmonton football, when we come back, the Eskimos with a 16-point lead heading to the fourth quarter. Had the Lacey touchdown stood, it might have been virtually lights out for Calgary. It's still another huge turning point here. The Eskimos with the lead and the football to start the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they stay within a couple of possessions, so the Calgary Stampeders get a break there. And basically the ruling being that a whistle can stop the play prematurely, and then the fumble can continue to be challenged by Chris Jones, which he did, and they make the challenge, they win the challenge, but the touchdown by Dion Lacey's taken off the board.
How do you like video review? Well, might be another show.
Yeah. Let's just say, I think, my opinion, Dion Lacey should have a touchdown on the board right now.
Eskimos take over on their own side of the half around the 54-yard line, and Mike Riley going to work, going deep. Got him! Walker, touchdown! Well, that didn't take long. 57-yard touchdown strike.
And all of that, fumble, not fumble, Lacey touchdown, all of that goes right out the window because Darrell Walker picks him up, puts him down, runs by everybody on the post. He takes Brandon McDonald downtown, and the ball's put right over his inside shoulder. What a throw by Mike Riley.
Riley with 3 touchdown passes, 3 different receivers. The defending Grey Cup champions on the ropes. Darrell Walker now 102 yards receiving on the day after that 57-yard touchdown strike.
Receivers will tell you, Chris, that when you're going one-on-one on a DB, like Darrell Walker is going one-on-one on Brandon McDonald, if you get even, you're leaving. And that's exactly what he does. Right now, they're even. If you're even with your DB coming out of your break, you're leaving. And that's Darrell Walker. Another gear, downtown over the top, and that ball dropped right in the bucket. What a throw by Riley. Hits his receiver in stride for the deep ball.
Mike Riley over 300 yards for the 4th consecutive game. And getting closer to his first ever playoff victory.
Don't see that very often in the middle of the game. A big smile from Chris Jones. But they can taste it now.
They're in a position this year than Darrell Walker.
Money. Finalist for outstanding rookie. Should win it.
Matt Walter on the return. Spins for extra yards up around the 39, and Bo Levi Mitchell can't be patient any longer.
Nope. And that doesn't mean that can't throw it to mess them out of the backfield, but they've got to work against the clock, get that high tempo offense out there going. And the problem with that is that Dave Dickinson, due to all the changes up front, the fact that he got his running back in late October, he can't go very deep into that play card he's got in front of him.
8 comeback wins this year. But a huge climb ahead of them, and a pass for Eric Rogers in a crowd, incomplete.
Tried to go with Joe West down the rail there on the sideline on the Calgary bench. And Rogers on the post, but that time Rogers drew all kinds of covers. There were 3 Edmonton Eskimos in the area.
Second and 10, here comes pressure. Mitchell stands in, throws, intercepted. Picked off by Dexter McCoy, last year's Rookie of the Year. Second straight possession that ends with a turnover. Mitchell throwing his first playoff interceptions in this game, and it's slipping away from Calgary. The CFL playoffs on TSN are brought to you by GMC Sierra. We are professional grade.
Low Levi Mitchell thought Joe West was going to run that in route. Dexter McCoyle dropped deep. West put the brakes on and McCoyle took it.
First time Low Levi Mitchell has thrown a playoff interception. Mike Riley to Kendall Lawrence.
I'll show you what I'm talking about on that pick where Joe West is outside receiver there. There's McCoyle. He's going to drop back deep. Now, West is running an in route or dig across the middle. And he's supposed to come and continue on there right into the middle. And you can see he puts the brakes on and Dexter McCoyle jumps the route. That is your Edmonton Eskimo nominee for outstanding defensive player, making another big play.
2nd and 3. Not available, goes the other way, and that's there for Corey Watson to pick up a first down.
You know, last year they couldn't beat the Calgary Stampeders. The Edmonton Eskimos struggled at that. It was 4 games against Calgary, including that West final. They couldn't get it done, and that was the demon they had to exercise. Of course, when they got there, Mike Riley he was playing on one leg in the final last year. So it wasn't the Mike Riley we're used to. They're all healthy. You saw the jump in their step.
First down Edmonton at the 26. Fake to Shavers, Junior Turner on the rush. And Darrell Walker picks it off his shoe tops. Another catch for 87 and another Edmonton first down.
He just makes it look easy now. I mean, he just reached down casually and made a very difficult catch look routine. Riley's going to buy himself some time. He's throwing on the run. The ball kind of dies on him, but no problem for 87.
Up to 120 yards receiving in his first CFL playoff game. So first and goal from the 9. 4 receivers wide side. Quarterback drop. Mike Riley. Touchdown. Booking a trip to Winnipeg with that run.
We haven't seen it all game because he hasn't to. He stayed back in the pocket, worked to Darius Bowman, Darrell Walker, got the passing game going. They opened up right down Main Street for Mike Riley.
Parents are here, so is his wife.
He's trying to get that ball to the family.
And another completion.
Another completion. That's the front row to just sit down for a sec. Had to throw it behind coverage there.
Emily's got a catch. Extra point. 22 points of turnovers. And the Rileys and Mrs. Riley celebrating a huge performance by the quarterback.
So I'm going to hold on promoting you this quarter.
The CFL playoffs on TSN are brought to you by Wendy's Gouda Bacon Cheeseburger and Bacon Fondue Fries. Wendy's, now that's better. and by Shaw, proud sponsor and fan of the Canadian Football League. Ottawa on the road to the Grey Cup, and the appearance in Winnipeg next week, and Mike Riley's team 11-13 away from confirming their reservation.
They shored some defensive issues up at halftime and came back and played a great third quarter defensively, and then Riley just opened this game up with a couple deep balls and finished off with that last running touchdown.
Mistakes that costly. Matt Walter takes over, and Walter on a return up close to the 45. But again, 22 points off turnovers. Let's take a look at Mike Riley's night.
Well, he's been throwing it until the last run. I mean, he gets a quarterback sneak, but it's been Darius Bowman. He's had 6 for 74 yards and a TD. He's got Kenny Stafford to the field involved a little bit, and then the deep ball to Darrell Walker. Walker with 9 catches on the game and 120 yards and a touchdown. So he's using all his weapons, including his legs. And they're having fun now.
Mitchell to the far side, incomplete. Trying to hook up with Anthony Parker. Be 2nd and 10.
Hey, bro. Hey, funny thing is, bro. Hey, on your draw.
Team that lost 12 straight to Calgary. Mike Riley said, I had a big brother who used to pick me up, and then one day, I got him. And once I got him, we never fought again. Well, the fight will continue, but the Eskimos poised to win their 3rd straight after all that futility against the Stampeders. Bowley by Mitchell's got Eric Rogers in flight. Touchdown! And the champs answered back with a 66-yard touchdown, and well,
you'd expect it. Yeah, they're not going to just lay down and let the last 10 minutes and 30 seconds run off the clock and just say, hey, good luck, Edmonton in the Grey Cup. They're going to keep battling all the way down to the final whistle. This is Bo Levi Mitchell. He gets lots of time, and he just steps up there and he just bombs one down the middle. And Eric Rogers in behind everybody.
3 catches, 117 yards, and now 5 playoff touchdowns for Eric Rogers in 3 games.
They'll go for 2 here. Eric Rogers said next time they're inside the 5, they're going to give it to Messi. We'll see if they do that.
For 2 more. Mitchell rolling, throwing, back of the end zone, caught. Joe West got it, and 2 more. So 45-23 with 10:02 to go, and that causes some angst on the Edmonton sideline.
Yes, it does. I think Chris Jones saw his team celebrating there, and now all of a sudden they've got their game face back on after Eric Rogers. Just nothing fancy about the route. He's just heading straight down the field, basic seam route. Dropped over his shoulder and in the end zone. 2-point convert, a great throw to throw Joe West open.
Well, that's 1, but they need 3 more.
Yeah, no question. It's a steep hill to climb here for Calgary, but they're going down swinging anyway.
Boy, when you consider there were 23 points scored in the first meeting, the highest scoring game was a 43-point game, 26 in their last meeting, and we've got 68 on the board, and Chris Jones.
he just reminded his entire team to look up at the clock. There's lots of time. No lead is safe. It's been one of the sayings for the Canadian Football League for some time. But a lot of work to be done, and they need to stop immediately. The Calgary Stampeders.
What they need now is a takeaway, something that the Eskimos have had a huge edge in on the day, or a short kick as well here with 10:02 to go. Do you get the hands team on, or do you?
I might kick this deep. Yeah, I might kick this deep and get the quick 2-0.
Okay.
At this point, but you know that Edmonton will have their hands team, and they do right at that line. just in case the onside kick is coming.
11 players up. Kendall Lawrence, the lone deep man. time tonight.
Home field advantage. That's how important it is to fight for the bye in the final and home field. Those are big calls.
3rd and 10. Mitchell stands in, throws, touchdown, Joe West. And the champs are not going quietly into the night.
Oh, they're not. They are not. And from some celebration on the Edmonton bench to game faces back on in a hurry. Calgary will go for 2 again.
8th catch, 106 yards for West in the game.
Best team in the league at the 2-point convert during the regular season, over 75%.
Bonquay McDaniel, a record setter in that department. Can they get it within 14? It's still a 16-point lead, but wait, flag down. Dexter McCoyle, the knockdown, but it's a penalty against Edmonton.
A rough play.
Came down with the, made contact with the helmet. And that opens up some opportunity here, maybe to use Messam.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Edmonton, 37, half the distance to the goal. Retry to convert attempt.
Call against Ofa Foster.
Ball gone.
Messam in behind Brian Moniz. The 3 receivers go in motion. With just under 5 minutes to go, which is a long time in the Canadian Football League.
Hey, a ton of time. In fact, John Hufnagel doesn't have to try the onside kick. Moniz takes it to the left side of that rebuilt offensive line that's done a nice job in this game. And the defending champs are fighting back here.
What a turn of events. Back-to-back touchdowns for Calgary. The instant strike of 66 yards to Eric Rogers, and then a touchdown drive capped by Joe West. Let's go down to the Edmonton sidelines. Here's Ryan Rashaw.
Imagine a major change of atmosphere on this Eskimo sideline. It started after that first down, Peter touchdown a few minutes ago. Chris Jones went absolutely ballistic on the sideline after the 2-point converts. He managed to calm things down a little bit. Odell Willis pleading with his teammates. We've got more football to play today, guys. Don't stop now. They've since given up another one, and so things very solemn here on the Eskimo sidelines.
Really does get interesting. Hakeem Shavers on the return, trying to stoke a little momentum back. Flag comes down as he is bumped out at the Edmonton bench.
This might go against Shavers. I think he's got his hand up in the face mask on a stiff arm on the tackle on Josh Bell here, and they're going to start in a hole. There's that right hand up in the face of Bell.
On the return, major foul, face mask. Edmonton, 24, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Don't often see that on the offensive player straight arm, and there's a discussion on the Eskimo sidelines about it. But now cue Rick Stubler.
Absolutely. I don't think I've seen that called since I've been covering the game on the stiff arm offensively, but it was there, and now Edmonton starts in a hole. Rich Stubler got the 2-and-out in the last series after a couple of mistakes by the Edmonton offense. Let's see. Riley hands it off. Shaver straight ahead. Good run on first down. Good call on first down. Settle things down a little bit. Get those offensive linemen to lean on their front hand and go run block. Get some good production on first down and start to get back into that offensive rhythm. You're moving the chains.
Stampeders calling the timeout right now. 2nd and 2.
John Huffnagel continues to take a look at that clock and the time remaining.
All his victories, all that he's accomplished, if they can leave here today as winners, it would go to the top of the list, wouldn't it?
Well, they were down by 30 in the 4th. Around the 10-minute mark, Eric Rogers deep. And all of a sudden,
timer.
Two best defenses in the league, and we've got 76 points on the board. The old CFL game returned today. Sutton, Ottawa. 2nd and 2, Shavers. And
see where they
does he have enough?
Be very close. Looks like he's going to be marked short of the first down.
And that would be pretty bold to be going 3rd down at this spot on the field. They are short.
They are short, and how short is the question.
Although if there's anybody bold enough to gamble 3rd down, it's Chris Jones.
Yeah, they're so short that the officials have called for a measurement. The coaches can't do that. To a rule change this year. So we'll take a look and see how far they have to go and whether or not Chris Jones is going to go ahead and try and get that. Oh, baby, they're leaving the offense out there.
I don't disagree with it, though. Do you?
Inside a yard? I don't either.
Certainly wouldn't call it reckless.
We're talking half a foot.
But a little sliver of light for Calgary if they can come up with a stop. Good surge. Justin Sorensen, Matt O'Donnell.
And you got to believe in your O-line there. I mean, this is, and Chris Jones been happy with his O-line. They love to have got Simeon Rotier back at guard, but they get a good push on this short yardage. It's gutsy because of where they are on the field and the time of the game, but confidence in his offense, and no question, Riley goes in behind center. Justin Sorensen got a good push.
Sorensen played in his 100th regular season game in the regular season finale. Parksville, BC native, helps generate a first set of downs. Fake to Shavers and look out. Freddie Bishop takes down Mike Riley for a sack. The sack leader for the Stampeders. That's the first for Calgary. 11 during the regular season. And who'd have thought we might be going down to the wire, the 3-minute warning. And a big 2nd down play upcoming as the Eskimos lead has shrunk to 14.
Austrian Grand Prix, live on TSN.
Watching the body language of the coaches, the guy on the right with the bleed looks as uncomfortable, maybe more, than the man on the left.
Man on the left needs a big play right here on defense.
2nd and 14. Riley steps up under pressure. Has to take off. And he'll get a couple of extra yards on second effort, but short of the first down. Clock stops and they'll have to punt.
And when he went out of bounds, stopped the clock, so give the ball back to Calgary.
Most points allowed by the Stamps this year, and they remain in the game.
And Calgary has got 11 up. Just Marquay McDaniel back, meaning, well, by the looks of their formation up front, they're trying to set up a return here. Not loading up to try and block this.
Do have one block punt this year, but as you mentioned, looks like they're setting up the return. McDaniel stands around the Calgary 36-yard line.
Well, maybe not. They're coming.
Here they come. And shot just got it away. McDaniel on his 40. 40-yard punt. Coach 6 on the return. Does Bo Levi Mitchell have more dramatics up his sleeve?
You can bet the Edmonton Eskimos are, especially in the secondary, going to back off. Linebackers will probably be 8 to 12 yards deep. DBs around 10 to 12, 14 yards deep. Want everything to happen in front of them.
Mitchell, open man. Lamar Durant's got the catch in Edmonton territory. First down at the 51. Last Calgary scoring drive, 6 plays, 46 yards.
You see Chris Jones just there. He said, get up. He wants his DBs to get up and play normal football. He doesn't want them dropping off. As I mentioned, they're about 10 yards deep right now. You can see them.
First down. Mitchell gets it away. Open receiver. And Anthony Parker, another catch. And they're down to the 31, first down.
Well, from here, Bo Levi Mitchell can throw it to the end zone on a regular route. This is not out of the realm. And again, inside, in behind that linebacking core.
And again, a quick score here. They'll have time to kick it deep. But what to do? Messam. And Jerome Messam brought down at the 23-yard line by Sherritt. Has 8 more, 2nd and 2.
Exactly what John Hufnagel's thinking of right now is they're assuming they'll score. They've got to think that way. But how long do they have? Is it onside kick or kick it? And right now you're probably onside kick.
That discussion usually a minute 30 is, minute 40 is.
Yeah.
Second down, get it into the hands of McDaniel. He's got the first down and out. Bumped out by Otha Foster, but that stops the clock with 108 seconds.
You know, in the last 6 minutes, though, Bo Levi Mitchell can get in and out of that huddle quicker. That last call took 10 seconds to get called at the line of scrimmage. Stop the clock when Marquay McDaniel went out. Now they're going to take a shot at the end zone here.
Down from the 19, quickly over the middle. Messam, another catch. Took a big hit from J.C. Sherritt. Messam is not getting up immediately.
And you can tell by his way his arms kind of relaxed outside that this is.
He took a big shot from J.C. Sherritt.
Likely concussion here. As he's getting twisted around, you're right, J.C. Sherritt, the helmet contact. Unintentional by Sherritt, who's they've been battling in this game, those two guys, J.C. Sherritt and and Jerome Messam.
Spun right into the contact. Messam 245, J.C. Sherritt 218, and Messam stays down. While Jerome Messam gets attention, he takes the spot of John Cornish, who has been sidelined by another concussion, and really, I'm not sure if we're going to see John Cornish. He's got decisions to make at the end of the season about whether or not he'll be back.
Well, he's accomplished almost everything you can in Canadian football. He's been the outstanding player, been outstanding Canadian, league's leading rusher, and of course Grey Cup champion. And there is all kinds of speculation that it might be it for John Cornish. I think I speak on behalf of all football fans, whether you're a Calgary Stampeder fan or not. You hope that he can come back and is healthy, and we get a chance to see John Cornish play again. But those will be up to Cornish and medical staff to make that decision on the sideline, and Messam makes his way to the bench. He'll have to go through the concussion protocol.
But with Cornish sideline, what an acquisition it was to get Jerome Messam, who told us yesterday, I'm a free agent and I love it in Calgary, but I got to wait to find out what number 9's going to do before I have to make a long-term decision. Second and 5, Matt Walter in at running back. And it's dumped off underneath, and Walter stopped, and there's Sherritt there again to make the play.
When Messam got to the sideline, Chris, it was 148. They didn't snap the ball there until 132, and John Hufnagel's got to yelling at Bo Levi Mitchell to try and get the ball snapped as quickly as they could. He's like, hurry up, let's go. We're wasting valuable time here. Got to score twice.
That could have all been called while Messam was getting attention, but
well, I'm sure Dave Dickinson called the play. He needed to get it snapped. They got to take a shot now.
36. Western final on the line. They need to convert to stay alive. That's out of the pocket. Flag is down. End zone jump ball. And he's brought it down. Eric Rogers. But there is a flag in the backfield. And I think it's coming back.
Amando Sewell in the middle. Got up immediately and looked at the official as if he was tackled or held by John Estes.
Hands to the face. Calgary, number 56. The 10-yard penalty remains third down.
Well, it is 66 the call, and it takes the touchdown off the board.
Amando Sewell off the middle. Hand up in the chin and tackles him. You can see the left hand. Takes a touchdown off the board, and that's it. The storyline coming in was the O-line. They've done a pretty good job, but
otherwise it would have been a miracle Rogers catch. Calgary needs a miracle now. 3rd and 16. Mitchell throws end zone and incomplete. Turnover on downs. And I'd suggest maybe Edmonton could start celebrating, but they've already done that too early once here.
And I don't think Chris Jones is going to let him celebrate till a minute and 10 comes off the clock, but that's game. It came down to this throw, and Bo Levi Mitchell put his hands in the air as if he was confused as to why his receivers didn't go and try and get that. It's almost like Marquay McDaniel thought it was for Lamar Durant and vice versa, and Mitchell thought, come on, guys, let's go. But for that holding call, it might have been interesting. Onside kick.
Calgary was -4 in the giveaway takeaway head-to-head against Edmonton in the regular season, and -4 here in this game. That will be the difference.
not taking advantage in the red zone in the first half, 0 for 2, and John Hufnagel is going to lose to his rival, the Edmonton Eskimos, in his last game on the sideline for the Calgary Stampeders.
Made that announcement at the start of the season, did not want to discuss any details about it, but Dave Dickinson will take over. Hufnagel will move upstairs. And what a successful coaching career. Mike Benavides is on the sidelines. Your thoughts on what John Hufnagel's done?
Since the day he arrived in Calgary, he's been loyal. He's had a consistent program. Still has 8 players from that group. Never got rid of anybody from his staff. Consistent and loyal.
You mentioned as good as it gets.
And I'm not absolutely convinced we've seen the last of him on the sidelines. But
this Edmonton Eskimo team rebuilt, and he handpicked Chris Jones. And they were the better team, top to bottom, in this one. A little bit of a scare in that fourth quarter, but they were the better team all night.
Just a reminder, no lead is safe. Hard to believe it's been 10 years since they have been to the Grey Cup. But they're headed for a matchup against the Ottawa Red Blacks. It'll be like 1981 all over. Edmonton, Ottawa in the Grey Cup Championship for 2015. First career playoff victory for Mike Riley. 3 touchdown passes. He scored 2 on the ground.
Well, one of the great leaders in the game right now is Mike Riley. Used all his weapons.
Let's head down to the field, and here's Ryan Rashog.
All right, thank you, Chris. Mike, the offense that you were able to put up today on the wake of a 3-week layover, how were you able to perform at that level of efficiency after that layoff?
You know, our guys worked hard for the 3 weeks that we were off. You know, we played a good football game, but fourth quarter wasn't what we wanted it to be. You know, that's a good football team that we just played against, and they fought till the end, so a lot of credit to them. I mean, honestly, they were close to coming back and making this an overtime football game, so I got all the respect in the world for them. But, you know, we came out and played a good first 3 quarters, so we played for 4 quarters like we played for 3. We'll win the next one.
I know you don't like to talk about the past a lot, but how much did last year's loss against this team motivate you guys on this day?
I mean, that's a game we think about a lot. You know, we try not to think about, you know, last year and we move on, but all off season, you know, that was a long 6 months to sit on that one. And, you know that it ended that way. And to be honest with you, we weren't ready to win that game. And this year we were.
Mike, you got injured earlier on this season, missed, you know, the first half of the season. You come back, you win 9 straight games and play at a clip that is impressive. Did you think you would be able to get to this level this year after that injury?
Well, I mean, you know, I just feel blessed. I feel blessed to be back playing. I love playing with my team, you know, and it doesn't matter if we got this place packed or if we're up at Clark in practice. I love being around those guys. I love playing with them, so I'm glad we get one more week like that.
Heading to the Grey Cup, the Ottawa Red Blacks, the team you're going to face. A thought on that matchup?
I didn't even know who we were playing. I was so focused on this game, I didn't hear the score. But Ottawa's obviously had a great season. We're gonna celebrate this one tonight, and just like every other game, by tomorrow morning, we're moving on to the next one. We're trying to bring that Grey Cup home.
Congratulations. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks.
Boy, that's interesting. He didn't know the result of the first game. The Eskimos, some of them visiting up in the stands, as we've seen in recent weeks, led by the mayor, Odell Willis.
The players in the CFL are approachable.
There's Calvin McCarty, who came to Edmonton in 2006, the year after the last Grey Cup win by Edmonton, and now he gets a chance to finally head back to the Grey Cup as a member of the Green and Gold. The Nissan Titan Player of the Game is brought to you by Nissan, the official vehicle of the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question who that guy is. It's the leader of this football team, Mike Riley, who threw for almost 400 yards in this game, used all his weapons. Kenny Stafford, Darius Bowman, big game, another 100-yard game for Darrell Walker. And Riley also scored a couple on his own. So Mike Riley is our player of the game, one of the great leaders in CFL football right now.
9 consecutive wins for the Edmonton Eskimos, with Mike Riley back at quarterback and his first in the postseason.
A guy, Chris, that if you saw the pregame show, folks, Matt Dunnigan sat down with Mike Riley, and in that interview talked about all-stars and things like that. And there's a guy who doesn't care about any of those personal accolades. He's all about winning and his teammates. He said it in the post-game interview on the field. That's why he's such a great leader, and that's why the guys rally around him.
Head back to the field. Ryan Rashad's with J.C. Sherritt.
All right, thank you, Chris. J.C., some nervous moments in that fourth quarter. Take us through what it was like on the sideline and on the field as Calgary started to come back in that game.
Well, you knew with Calgary they weren't going to give up. They weren't going to lie down for a second. You know, it's a credit to them to make plays like that, but we did what we did all year, and we stuck together. We've handled adversity before. We've played into a lot of tight games all year, and, you know, we just said all we got to do is win this game. We don't care what the score is, just win.
Mike Riley said before this game the difference between this team this year compared to last year you showed up hoping to win. This year you showed up knowing you were going to win. What created that difference?
I mean, we just grew together, and our confidence has been building since Coach Jones got here. And to play a whole year together, to go through that, to lose in Calgary, and watch how we've gotten better, our confidence is through the roof, and that's what's carried us this far.
This core group gets to go compete for a Grey Cup together. What does that mean to you guys that have been through some tough times here?
It means everything. I mean, this is exactly what you play for, to be in this spot. And I mean, 2 years ago, we're 4-14, and for everybody to go through that, to stick together, and for our fans more than anything to get them that Grey Cup appearance, feels great.
Quick thought on Henry Burris and the Ottawa Red Blacks.
Great offense, solid team, solid coaching. It's going to be a heck of a matchup.
Thanks, JC.
All right, thanks a lot.
So Ottawa, Edmonton, there's how it went during the regular season. It was a lopsided early win. In fact, the Red Blacks had trouble with their visits to Alberta. The good news is they're going to Manitoba to meet the Edmonton Eskimos. Ed Hervey, congratulations to the general manager. And Chris Jones took over a team that was 4-14, has turned it around, and Ed Hervey and Chris Jones have their Edmonton Eskimos headed to the championship game.
Interesting comments there from J.C. Sherritt. I thought he did a nice job tonight, stepping up and taking on Jerome Messam. One of the ways that Calgary is going to try and win this football game was to establish Messam, get that going, get success on first down. I saw 3 or 4 occasions where J.C. Sherritt stepped up big time and took on Messam, even though Messam outweighs him by 30 pounds. He led the team in tackles in this one.
He is their little general on defense. In 3 regular season games, there were 7 touchdowns between these two teams. And I'm going to do some math. I think there were 7 in this game, 45-31. I don't think anybody saw that score coming between these two teams. Let's go back to Ryan with the Darius Bowman.
Darius heading to a Grey Cup with this core group of guys that have gone through some tough years. What does this mean to you to be in this moment now?
Oh, man, words can't even explain it, man. it's all this behind me right now what got me so excited. But man, hey, my hat's off to my team. We did a great job this year, and we came out today and we was the better team. So man, hey, we're gonna celebrate tonight, but then we're getting ready for this Grey Cup next week.
Darius, can you describe the job that Chris Jones did over a 3-week layoff to keep this team sharp, how he was able to do that?
The best word is professional. Without him, man, I swear our team wouldn't have the success that we have. He's been working with us 2 years now, and as long as we keep following him, I think our team's gonna do great. Coach Jones, hey, I can't be more thankful for that guy, man. I appreciate him so much.
To this game a little bit, you seemed aggressive right from the outset. You go for it on 3rd down and goal. You go for the 2 points. You're trying to fake plays. Why was that aggressiveness important?
Hey, this could have been the last game. So you got to shoot all your bullets, man. We'll shoot till it's empty, and I think we did it today. Like I say, man, our team deserves it all, man. Hats off to them. We're going to celebrate tonight, but we got more work to do.
Congratulations. Thanks, Darius.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ryan. Let's go to Rod Smith.
Thank you, Chris. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to the 2015 West Division champion Edmonton Eskimos. Commissioner of the Canadian Football League, Jeffrey Orridge, to make the trophy presentation to the head coach, Chris Jones.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the Edmonton Eskimos as they become the 2015 champions of the West Division. I'd like to take this opportunity now. It's my pleasure and my privilege to present the trophy to Coach Chris Jones and the entire Edmonton Eskimos staff and team. Congratulations, and I'll see you in Winnipeg next week.
What's up, man? Thank you, Coach, man. Thank you, man.
Chris, congratulations. 2 years ago, you took over a team that had won only 4 games. What does this mean to you to see this team evolve and go to the Grey Cup this year?
Well, I mean, it's all about these guys right here. It's all about them. I mean, the coaches that I have, the players that I have. We got such an outstanding group, best locker room I've ever been around. And again, the fans, man, we certainly appreciate y'all coming out, man. I'm telling you.
You had a nice long break of 3 weeks, though, but tell me, how worried were you? What kind of concerns did you have about having that much of a layoff before this game?
Well, we were the better football team. We knew that going in. It's just a matter of us coming out and establishing where we wanted to be. Again, players went out. We don't have very complicated stuff. We just do things over and over and over. They believe in what we're doing, and they play fast, and they're awful fun to watch when they're playing hard.
Is it even sweeter beating the team that denied you a chance to go to the Grey Cup last year?
It wouldn't have mattered who was here, but it was certainly good. Again, it's our time, and we want to go over there and Winnipeg and play our A game, see what happens.
There's another team earlier in the day that made a remarkable turnaround in just their second year. The Ottawa Red Blacks are going to be your opponents next week in Winnipeg. What are your thoughts on that team and the way they've improved?
Well, I mean, Rick Campbell, I mean, you got to give hats off to him and their coaching staff, Marcel Desjardins, putting that team together. They've done an outstanding job. Again, we're a good football team, too. We look forward to going over there and playing them.
We'll see you in Winnipeg. Good luck, Coach. Chris Jones, head coach of the victorious Edmonton Eskimos, going to Grey Cup 103 next week. Chris?
Hey, can we touch it?
All right, Rod. Championship are not foreign to this city, but this has been a long wait to get back to the Grey Cup.
Chris Jones had to rebuild the culture. That winning culture, that Edmonton Eskimo way. He went in the locker room. It took a couple of years in the steps, but he got them back. And now there's one more game to be played.
And although the The way they won today, a little bit surprising based on the fact that they're known for their stout defense. They showed you today they can win just about any way. They have to.
Yeah, but Darius Bowman mentioned it in his interview with Ryan Rashad there on the sideline. He basically said that, hey, we were the better team all game long. They were. Hey, congratulations on the season for the Calgary Stampeders. They went down swinging and they made it interesting in the end. But this was the better team in this game, and they're the team that deserves to be representing the West in the Western Final, or in the Grey Cup.
An explosive offense, a usually stingy defense. And we're going to reflect back. You're going to hear a lot about 1981. J.C. Watson Company, they put a huge scare into the Edmonton Eskimos. But Warren Moon, Brian Kelly, and the rest of them set it up for Dave Cutler to kick a winning field goal on the final play to keep the little controversy in that game too. Heard James Duthie talking about the double interference call. You'll hear a lot more about 81 and a very interesting matchup in the 2015 103rd Grey Cup. Red and black, green and gold. Ottawa against Edmonton in the 2015 Cup. We'll see you in Winnipeg. But right now, so long from Edmonton, SportsCenter is now.
CFL 2020.